In this module, we are going to talk about globalization and a new world order. Globalization stretched social, political, and economic activities across political frontiers. Growing magnitude of interconnectedness, accelerating pace of global interactions and processes, integration of local and global processes. Through tools of globalization, those are known as multinational corporations, World Trade Organization, international financial institutions like IMF and World Bank, marketing and advertisement. Whole world was integrating with each other, and that increased interconnectedness caused that collectivism on the part of the new world, that they were going to have more democracy and more fundamental liberty and freedom on the part of those parts of the world where usually liberty, freedom, or fundamental rights are usually look missing. Therefore, through American New World Order and this process of globalization, it became possible to observe fundamental rights in most part of the world. It is claimed. The first wave of globalization was intentionally shaped by European expansion and conquest that contributed to develop the order of the world system. The second wave of globalization was characterized by the attempts of European empires to expand their territories and securing them from external intervention. Globalization is differently experienced in different parts of the world, which is also known as asymmetrical globalization. Proliferating trans-governmental and global policy networks and increased role of international agencies and non-governmental organizations in the management of global affairs. There are three regulating mechanisms of international society: diplomacy, international law, balance of power. The sovereignty and power of nation state is declining. The main three elements of the Westphalian order include sovereignty, state authority, and territoriality. At the aforementioned, all the aforementioned elements are affected by the consequence of globalization. As today there are more role of multinational corporations who have their own territory in the form of their food chains or other brands in other parts of the world, and their branches are considered as their territory, not in international law, but as far as the agreements with the host countries are concerned. And owing to that territory, they have their own customers as their subjects are population, and they hold the responsibility to give more convenience, more comfort to their customers in their territory or in their branch, whatever they are. Even it is a food chain or any other cloth brand or perfume brand or whatever. Whenever they are inside that shop, that mall, which belongs to any multinational corporations, people supposed to be very much free and in comfort in buying or purchasing their things and even selling. So this is how it is considered that in the presence of multinational corporations, the sovereignty, territory, and the authority of the state is at stake, because these multinational corporations are earning a lot of money and they are dictating their terms wherever they go. I can also believe that increasing role of these multinational corporations definitely transforming them into a multinational governments or multinational states. But even then, we cannot deny the sovereignty of the state at all, because whenever we are going to across the boundary, when we cross our boundaries, we have to introduce ourselves as that I belong to Pakistan, I belong to India, I belong to UK, USA, Brazil, China, name any country. Well, it is considered that sometime there would be a time when people would start introducing themselves at the airports that I am from ICI, I am from Nike, I am from Mercedes Benz, like this. But it seems very much, I would say, idealistic, or you may say it's a dream that maybe when people start thinking about global citizenship, and then when most of the people, or you may say the majority of the people, would be allowed to go in any part of the world. That seems difficult for now.